If you enjoy watching Common Ground online, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution at lptv.org. Common Ground is funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Rachel Johnson, and thanks for joining us. On tonight's episode of Common Ground, we're giving you a backstage pass to the Happy Together Tour, an oldies benefit concert put on by Lakeland Public Television and the Sanford Center in Bemidji. Then we'll take a hike through the heartland of Minnesota, where the North Country Trail Association is busy clearing a path in the wilderness. The North Country Trail stretches across 7 states, and when complete will be the longest National Scenic Trail in the country.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, ha, ha.
Oh yeah, we get in the morning and set up the band gear, and we'll make sure all the microphones and everything are in place. Then my monitor guy is going to go through and make sure that there's no feedback, and he's going to EQ stuff so that it sounds good and gets loud for the guys on stage, because they're competing with Marshall amps, cymbals. Drummer hits really hard. That stuff's got to be pretty loud for them to hear themselves well. So that's what he's working on when he's EQing. You see all that EQing he's doing? He's just ringing it out, is what we call it, making it as loud as it can be without it feeding back.
Hey, 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 hey.
Into the mic. So the squeaks and stuff aren't, that you always hear, aren't really supposed to be there.
Hey, 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 hey.
My name's Warren Fambro. I'm front of house sound for the tour. I know what we need to have in place when we get there. After that, once we get here, it's just about hooking it up and making it all work every day. You kind of go through the same motions every day, so it gets down to a science in a way. The first day, we will set up and put stuff in place and mark it so that the exact same microphones go in the exact same spots. Even if they're the same types, we'll put them in the same position. And the same cable is used, and the same everything, so that every day it's exactly the same stuff. If something changes over time, or if a microphone gets hit and starts sounding a little different, one correction corrects it for the whole tour. We just try to replicate everything every day by doing it exactly the same every day. Plus, it eliminates a lot of confusion, because this exact same thing goes in the exact place. It's so hard. But we have plenty of people to help us every day. We'll have a crew of probably 8 people helping us load our gear in and get it in position. Like I was saying, everything's marked, so all I got to do is tell the guys where things need to go, and we'll set it in place. It can be hard if you're doing stuff for the one show. When we're rolling in a tour like this, it's a lot easier, actually, because we're doing it all over and over again. And all they have to do is tell the local guys, lift this, put it here, take that away, that kind of thing.
These are ACLs, short for aircraft landing lights. Very thin, very punchy beam of light. Obviously, they are used normally for aircraft landing lights. We use them for entertainment, but mainly effect lighting. That rock and roll, fingers of light type thing. That's what that is.
I miss my kid terribly. He wants to be just like me, So he wants to do this when we're home and doing it around the house. You know, I try to get him out to the local things that are going on, we're working on, and he'll help me, you know, and let him push to the faders a little bit. It's great life because you get to travel. You don't get to see too much but the inside of another building. But the travel's the hardest part. You know, you do that, you go do your gig, it's pretty fun, really. But you can't, as a kid, I got into it and I just busted my back, you know, messed myself up pretty good. That's the part that's no fun. Don't get into this business, whatever you do. The retirement's awful. They just stopped calling. Don't get in this business. I'm just kidding.
It's pretty rewarding being in new places all the time and getting to know some of the people on the road. It's really, I mean, we do make a lot of friends out here, and that's always nice. There's actually playing my instrument every day, you know, for several hours a day, which is actually nice, a refreshing change, because I don't really get to play as much when I'm at home. I do some vocal work and I do some teaching. I don't really get to play like this, so that part is nice. It's nice having your meals decided for you every day. That way you know exactly, because when I'm home with my family, I'm always like, wow, what am I going to make for dinner? What am I going to make for lunch? So that part's nice. Just gets, you know, you just miss your friends and family at home.
This is a show full of hits because we've got one backing band. We don't have set changes to deal with, so it's a night just full of music. And, you know, most artists are playing 4 or 5 songs, maybe 6 or 7, I think, for a couple of them. And we're just banging out the biggest hits that they had, you know. So it's a night full of fun, really.
Bemidji, Minnesota, thank you all. You've been a great audience, we appreciate it. Thank you.
My name is Ray Velasic. I'm the president of the Laurentian Lakes chapter of the North Country Trail Association, and we're here in the Tamarack National Wildlife Refuge where the trail is currently being constructed. Well, the trail is a big project. It's actually a 4,600 mile long hiking trail, and it is primarily just a hiking trail. It starts in New York at Lake Champlain in New York, and it extends to Lake Sakakawea in western North Dakota. About half of the trail is currently constructed of the 4,600 miles. In Minnesota, the trail goes up along the Superior Hiking Trail. Superior Hiking Trail is an affiliate partner organization, and then it follows across the Border Route Trail and the Kekakabik Trail, and then there's a section that isn't complete coming down from Ely to the Chippewa National Forest. Then it runs from the Chippewa National Forest through the Paul Bunyan State Forest to Itasca Park. From Itasca Park, it goes through the White Earth State Forest and then down to where we are now in the Tamarack National Wildlife Refuge. And the next main area that it will go to after this is the Maplewood State Park. The North Country National Scenic Trail is actually a National Park Service project, and it's a partnership between the National Park Service and the North Country Trail Association. The National Park Service manages the overall trail project. The North Country Trail Association and the chapters that form it are the ones who construct and maintain and promote the trail. The North Country Trail Association has about 30 chapters and affiliate organizations. Affiliate organizations similar to the Superior Hiking Trail Association is a partner organization. In Minnesota, there are 4 individual chapters. One is located in the Twin Cities, and they've mainly been responsible for the Chippewa National Forest area. There's another chapter, the Itasca Moraine chapter, which is responsible for the trail east of Itasca State Park. And I'm a member of the Laurentian Lakes chapter. We're responsible for the trail in Becker and Clearwater counties west of the park. If you go to, of course, websites is the best way to find out information about the trail. All of the chapters have detailed maps of their sections on the website. northcountrytrail.org you can get to all the various chapters by looking at that. The North Country Trail is has the same status as the Continental Divide Trail, the Appalachian Trail. They're all trails of the same program. We like to refer to it as a linear national park, a park that's 4,600 miles long and 4 feet wide. Well, it gets harder and harder. You know, you build the easy parts first, which are typically the public land areas, because public land, it's easier to get permission. When you don't have public land available, you have to partner with private landowners. And it's a lot harder to find the private landowners that are willing to have the trail on their property. But actually, in this area, we have a couple private landowners, and there will be more of them as we continue to work toward Maplewood State Park. Well, we have the help of the Minnesota Conservation Corps helping us. Our volunteers work on the trail, and then the Minnesota Conservation Corps helps us construct the trail. Our specification for building the trail is that we clear an opening that's 4 feet wide and 8 feet high. That's the opening that we try and create, especially when we're working in an area like this that's forested. And then we refer to the treadway, the actual walking space that we walk on, as the treadway, and that'll be from 18 inches to 24 inches wide. And it'll just be an earthen treadway in most cases. When we construct the trail and actually construct the treadway, after we've done the clearing of the 4 by 8 foot opening, the first step is to remove a duff. A duff is the organic material that collects in the forest. And it can be anywhere from nothing, like this particular area that we're in has very little duff, whereas in other areas it can be 6-8 inches deep. And generally when you build a trail, you like to get it down to mineral soil. That gives you a good base for walking on. So the first step is that they remove duff.
I'm Max Tiemann. I'm a crew leader on the Bemidji crew. We're based out of Bemidji, but we work for organizations all over the state. And working on the trail here, got to get the duff layer off so that it's nice mineral soil and it won't gets nice and packed down. It's easy to walk on. Get it nice and level for all the hikers that'll be out here. Well, to get the main layer off here, it's easy to use this as a McLeod, and you can kind of just scrape off the top layer of all this organic material and get down into the mineral soil. And every once in a while as it piles up, you just throw it all off to the side and keep going. Well, just knowing that the trail's gonna be here like for a long time, pretty much forever. It'll be getting used by so many people, and just being part of making it, and you know, it's good to just get something out there and do something good for all the people that can use it.
And then the next step is that they look for any roots or stumps and stubs of brush that we've cut off, and they remove all of those so there's no trippers, including any rocks that are in the trail. All of the rocks are removed.
Well, I'm a crew member on the Bemidji crew. Right now we're digging line on North Country Trail, and every once in a while we run into a root. And when there's roots on the trail, they're a tripping hazard, so they have to be taken out. So what we do is take a Pulaski, and there's a hoe end and an axe end, and we use the axe end and just try to chop them out as best we can. Sometimes they're a little hard to get out. I'll do it.
Then after they've removed all of those kinds of things, the last step is actually just a leveling of the treadway so that as you walk down the trail, your feet aren't dancing around. I like to define it as if they're jumping back and forth, then the trail hasn't been smoothed out enough. I can say a little bit more about our volunteers, about the process of actually building the trail. It starts out with a map that has a line on it of where somebody decided the trail ought to be. And we're given the latitude of being within 10 miles of that original route that was defined. And the very first thing we do is look at topographic maps, and with topographic maps, choose a route that looks good on paper. And then in the wintertime, when there aren't leaves on the trees, we get out and actually flag a route, GPS it so we know exactly where it's at. And then when spring comes, we begin to actually refine that route by getting out and seeing what the ground looks like. And that's the process that the volunteers go through. And the way we've been doing it is the volunteers, we have each chapter has volunteers. Laurentian Lakes chapter has about 70 members, and the volunteers will do the clearing of the trail. And then we try to get grants to hire the Minnesota Conservation Corps to do the hard work of building the treadway of the trail, although our volunteers do that at times also. Chapters are responsible for maintenance, but what we do is similar to the highway adopters program. We have trail adopters. And the trail adopters are responsible for short sections of the trail. They get out in the spring and clear up windfalls that have occurred during the winter, and then they try to go through and mow the trail a couple times during the summer to keep it in good shape. Another aspect of building the trail is that sometimes they are going along a hillside, and we call the construction when we're on a hillside as benching. And what they do then is they cut out a groove in the side of the hill so that the trail is level in that area. And also when they're going up and down hills, they will put in what we refer to as water bars so that the water doesn't run down the trail. The water bar will direct the water off of the trail so that the trail doesn't erode.
I'm Pulaskiing and getting this ground so that it's not slanted, so it's more at a 90-degree angle. And then the McLeod's going to come through and make it look prettier. And we try to have it about like 2 feet wide and pretty smooth, so it's not all bumpy and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool working on a trail that's going so far and being part of like the crew that is putting it together and putting all the pieces together to make such a long lasting thing. So.
There are also specifications on grade. We monitor the grade of the trail. We never go over 10% grade. We try and limit it to 8%. And even then, those steeper grades we're only permitted to do for short distances. Well, this summer, we are building we're adding about 21 miles to the trail, which is a great amount to accomplish in 1 year. And that is the benefit of having a legacy grant that we're able to use to hire the Minnesota Conservation Corps. The designated trail is 4,600 miles long. Approximately half of it had been constructed. So as time goes by, we keep adding miles to the trail. Now those areas where the trail actually hasn't been constructed or defined, there is a defined road route for those areas. So people who are through hiking, they will walk on sections of the trail that are complete, and then they'll be, in certain areas, they'll be hiking on designated road routes to make it through the trail. One of the things that we do with the trail is interpret the area, the history of the area. And in this area, we have the Native American history that we can interpret, and we have the original logging of the virgin forest in this area. And we can interpret those areas quite well because there are archaeological issues in the area from the Native Americans, and the trail actually follows some of the original rail grades that were used when the virgin forest was logged. There's some sections where the trail actually follows those original logging grades.
There was a lot of what were they? They were like tin cans from people that used to collect maple syrup, and they were old enough. Yeah, huge piles of these tins, all rusted out in the woods, and you come across them, and they can't really clean them up because
it's on national forest, and then after 50 years or something, they're considered artifacts. So you can't take anything out of the woods.
So if there's like a 50-year-old trash pile there, it stays there.
The trail goes through the southern part of Itasca from the east to the west, and it is one of the first areas that the trail was constructed in Minnesota was in Itasca State Park. So it has a long history. As a matter of fact, the trail in that area, because it has been there as long as it has, it's at a stage where it needs some maintenance, some repair work, just because of the traffic that's occurred over the years. It's over 20 years old in Itasca State Park. Every place that we put the trail, we're dealing with a land manager of some type, whether it be a private landowner, a county or state, forest, the forestry department, or in the state parks. So in every case, we have a memorandum of understanding with them regarding how the trail is going to be constructed, how the trail is going to be maintained. And so there's a partnership with all of the state parks as the trail passes through those units. And the same is true as we pass through state forest areas and county forest areas, and we also have agreements with our private landowners. The trail also has campsites. So people that are hiking the trail, the campsites are on all of the maps, and generally there's a campsite approximately every 8 miles. In some areas they're more frequent, like around Itasca Park, we have trails more frequent. The trail goes past the Mini Point Scout Camp, which is just a little ways north of here. So scouting units use the trail and camp on the trail, which is another good use of the trail. Well, that's one of the benefits of this trail, is that people who might be afraid to get out in remote wilderness areas can go and safely hike a trail that's in a remote area, because it's well signed, it's well blazed and cleared, and they're not gonna get lost. Most people who get out and actually hike the trail hike sections of it, but there are a few people who hike it long distance, end to end, the full 4,600 miles, some of them continuously. Well, ultimately, of course, it's a long distance hiking trail like the Appalachian Trail that most people are familiar with. I mean, it's an opportunity for people to get out in the wilderness, get exercise. A wilderness trail not only exercises your body physically, it exercises your mind, because you're in this wonderful forested area, very peaceful, very relaxing.
Yeah, it's cool. Projects like this are kind of cool because you can look back and see like what you've done. And
yeah, you get to walk back on the trail that you made at the end of the day, and it's like, wow, we made all this, and you keep going and going and going.
Well, it's been great. For me, this is a give back. I was a Boy Scout myself, I was a scout leader. I have 3 sons. I have grandsons, all of whom are scouts, Boy Scouts. And when I was a scout and when I was a leader, I hiked a lot of trails, did a lot of backpacking. And now that I'm retired, this is my time to give back and build trails for other people to use. And I just enjoy being in the outdoors, and I enjoy physical work, so it's great for me.
Thanks for tuning in to Common Ground. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week.
If you have a segment idea for Common Ground pertaining to North Central Minnesota, contact us at legacy@lptv.org or call us at 218-333-3022. If you enjoyed this episode of Lakeland Public Television's Common Ground, consider making a contribution at lptv.org.